When diving into the world of U.S. law, two key players often come up: the United States Code, or U.S. Code for short, and the Code of Federal Regulations, commonly known as the CFR. Understanding the difference between these two is crucial for anyone navigating legal waters. Let's start with the U.S. Code. This is essentially a compilation of federal laws. It organizes statutes passed by Congress into a systematic format. Think of it as a library where each book represents a different area of law, like Title 18 for crimes and criminal procedure or Title 26 for internal revenue. The U.S. Code is updated every 6 years, with annual supplements that incorporate new laws. So, if Congress passes a new law, it gets added to the appropriate title in the U.S. Code. This makes it a primary source of federal law. Now, let's shift gears to the Code of Federal Regulations. The CFR is where the rubber meets the road. It contains the rules and regulations created by federal agencies to implement the laws passed by Congress. For instance, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, might create regulations under the Clean Air Act. These regulations are detailed, providing the specifics on how the law is to be enforced. The CFR is updated annually, with each title reflecting the latest rules from various agencies. So, what are the key differences? The U.S. Code is about the laws themselves, what Congress has enacted. The CFR, on the other hand, is about the implementation of those laws, how federal agencies are expected to enforce them. To put it simply, the U.S. Code tells you what the law is, while the CFR tells you how to follow that law. Let's look at an example to clarify this further. Consider the Clean Water Act. The U.S. Code outlines the overarching goals and policies for maintaining water quality. But then, the CFR dives into the specifics, like permissible levels of pollutants, reporting requirements, and enforcement mechanisms. If you're a business owner, you'll want to consult both the U.S. Code for the law's intent and the CFR for the nitty-gritty details on compliance. Another example is the Fair Labor Standards Act, which is found in the U.S. Code. It sets the minimum wage and overtime pay standards. The CFR elaborates on how employers should calculate wages, what constitutes overtime, and the exemptions that might apply. Without the CFR, the U.S. Code would leave too many questions unanswered. In summary, while the U.S. Code and the CFR are interconnected, they serve distinct purposes. The U.S. Code is the foundation of federal law, while the CFR builds upon that foundation with the practical rules needed for enforcement. Understanding this distinction is essential for anyone looking to navigate the complexities of federal regulations effectively. Whether you're a legal professional, a business owner, or just a curious citizen, grasping these differences will empower you to better understand how laws impact our daily lives.